Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the sanctuary. I'm not going to say my sanctuary because it's our sanctuary. It's mine and yours. So, welcome to the very first episode of Nerd Out Sanctuary, where we love to talk about movies, TV, video games, whatever this fucking idiot likes to talk about. So, on the first episode, since it's December 23rd at 11:18 p.m., we're going to be talking about Star Wars because I just recently saw Rise of Skywalker, and wow. Yes, I have some thoughts, and not good ones. not good ones at all, really. And similarly for the past movies, probably other than The Force Awakens and the spin-off movies are fine, but we'll get into that. But first, how are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? I hope you all are doing great. You know, driving, taking a shit, doing whatever the fuck you're doing, listening to me. I appreciate it. So without further ado, let's just get into this Star Wars bullshit. So starting out, I'd like to just touch on how important Star Wars is. Sorry for banging the table, but it's definitely probably one of my more favorite things about entertainment or anything really. I mean, personally for me, watching Star Wars movies are some of my favorite fond memories as a kid growing up, mainly because it's some of my only good memories that I have with my dad. So it's very personal to me. So, you know, when you see what's happening up on screen and what Disney's doing with these new films, it's an emotional experience. So that's why, you know, I have a glass of whiskey here, because I'm going to be drinking it, because this is going to be a rough one. I mean, one, this is my first episode ever, and two, we're talking about Star Wars. Now, probably what I'm going to be saying here hasn't already been said before by many others, but hopefully I can try to weed out the shit and try to get some semblance of, I don't know, hope out of this, this shit show. So, we start out, we're just going to talk about the Disney Star Wars movies. We're not going to be talking about the old trilogy and the prequels. I personally like the prequels, mainly because, I mean, again, I'm 23 years old, so I pretty much grew up when they were coming out. I definitely remember seeing Revenge of the Sith in the theater, which is my favorite of the prequels. Definitely the best of the three prequels. I actually kind of like The Phantom Menace. I mean, there's a lot of shit in that movie. Obviously Jar Jar Binks is terrible. But Duel of the Fates, Darth Maul, that ending fight scene. I like the pod racing scene, even though it goes on for an hour too fucking long. But, come on. Sebulba? Let's come on, dude. But, anyway, so the original trilogy, I love all of them. The Empire Strikes Back is my favorite film of all time. They're all amazing. So, I kind of forget the exact date The Force Awakens came out. I'll look that up really quick for you guys, actually. But when it came out and I was so fucking excited for this film. I was counting down the fucking days. I was counting down the hours, no seconds until this fucking movie came out. Come on. If you're watching this, I'm sure you're into Star Wars and you're doing something similar. But when it came out, I think everyone just had this, I don't know, man, there's something about it. People were just excited about Star Wars again, man. They were just excited for Star Wars. Hold on. And it came out and we saw it and everyone was just like, yo, man, this shit is amazing. And, like, I honestly thought it was when I was walking out of the theater of The Force Awakens. It was fucking fantastic, in my opinion. I know over time, people were just like, oh, but it's basically just A New Hope. Yeah, it is. And that's definitely a valid criticism of the movie, for sure. But, like, I was an avid defender of The Force Awakens, being like, you know what? Like, I see why they did that. It was United States, it released December 18th, 2015. So, wow, man, that's 4 years ago. Jesus. What the hell, man? Time flies, bro. Time fucking flies. Man, I was, freshman or sophomore year in college when that thing came. No, freshman. I was a freshman in college, man. I'm out of college now. I'm on fucking working, man. Now, damn. Anyway, okay, moving on. Staying on target here. Yeah, I was an avid defender for The Force Awakens. They brought in these new characters, and that's a pretty big fucking challenge, especially when you have the big three and Luke, Leia, and Han being so beloved. And, like, I thought they did a great job with setting up Kylo Ren, Ben. I think Adam Driver is fantastic. I think the one great steady thing throughout this franchise is Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, in my opinion. Even in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, he does amazingly well with what he is given. And he's not really given too much in the series, which is so disappointing. It's such a waste of a great fucking actor. But taking a sip of my whiskey here, man. Oh, fuck yeah, it feels good. Yeah, there's going to be drinking on this channel. I'm sorry, but, this is definitely probably not, this is not kid-friendly, by the way. I'm swearing, I'm drinking, it's promoting alcohol. It's just absolute debauchery on this podcast. But, getting into it. Amongst the criticism of the film, I think it was really good. For what it was, yes, it was straight up a remake of A New Hope. But you know what? I see why they did that. They needed to kick off the franchise. They needed to get everyone on their side. All these Star Wars fans, all the naysayers, getting them on their side. And really, that was pretty much the only valid criticism of the movie. I honestly thought they could have done Han's death a little bit better, like setting it up a little bit more in the beginning. There was a deleted scene where Kylo Ren, sits in the Millennium Falcon. I have no fucking idea why that was not in the film in the first place. That was pretty great, Or just, give him something where Kylo and Han, make eye contact with one another. That would be some heavy shit, But, okay, moving on. I think The Force Awakens, I would have recommended it, but these next two films kind of negate that, which makes me even more pissed off at The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. More The Last Jedi. I'll say now. Well, I'll get into an actual legit review, which is not going to have any spoilers in it. I know people haven't watched it or anything, but maybe I'll talk more in depth about it. Mainly, I don't really want to go too in depth with spoilers on Rise of Skywalker. I've only seen it once, and honestly, I'm doing this because it's relevant, and I loved Star Wars, and I'm just kind of sick and tired of just dealing with the whole fandom and defending my beloved franchise. If you want to hate it, you want to hate it, but let's get into The Last Jedi, because there's a decent amount here. Spoilers, again, for either The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I hope you kind of knew that. Hopefully you've seen the previous ones if you're watching this and listening to this. But The Last Jedi, hands down, just straight up fucks the entire trilogy up. It's the movie just fucks it up. And it's so, as soon as Luke yeets his lightsaber, it's okay, well, this is definitely hashtag not my Luke Skywalker here. It's, man, just something about it. It just, in the beginning, the entire film is just a chase scene. It's just one ship chasing another. I mean, yeah, there's this fucking shit-ass casino planet with some dumb-ass fucking forced message of animal cruelty, which I don't even know why the fuck that was in. But anyway, let's kind of get a little bit on track here. Rian Johnson directed this film, and J.J. Abrams did The Force Awakens. And I'm guessing the plan was to have a separate director direct each film. That I feel like that's a good idea in theory, but I feel like, I mean, they should have followed what they did with Marvel. Just have a singular vision, and I'll get more into that after I talk about Rise of Skywalker, where I want to talk about the state of Star Wars and where we're going forward. But now, like, Rian Johnson, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure he directed the Ozymandias episode of Breaking Bad, which is one of the best ones. He directed Looper, which is an amazing hard science fiction film. Don't get me, like, that movie is awesome. I recommend that to anyone who's a fan of hard sci-fi. Looper is a must-watch. He also directed a movie called Brick, which is kind of like a high school film noir, like, murder, like, death mystery, like, and it was really good. Really fucking good. Stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's amazing. Watch those. Like, watch those movies. They're amazing. So, and so that's why I was incredibly excited about The Last Jedi, because I'm like, man, you got Rian Johnson. You definitely don't get him for, like, a happy-go-lucky Star Wars movie. And he's mainly directed indie stuff. JJ at least had, like, he directed Star Trek, which were basically Star Wars movies. They were good films, but they weren't good Star Trek films. They were good just films, action adventure, which is pretty much what Star Wars is. So Rian Johnson, fantastic director, but indie smaller director. And then you get him to write and direct the second film in this new Skywalker trilogy. I mean, like, you couldn't have a bigger film. You couldn't have more pressure on your shoulders, so something, I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, I guess they just gave him way too much control over the script, because it was fucking... The Last Jedi is straight up garbage. Like, it's fucking bad. Like, when I first watched it coming out, I was just like, man, like, I wanna like it, man. That throne room scene was fucking sick, dude. Like, those fucking Praetorian guards kicking ass. Fuck yeah, dude. And then you really think about it, and you're like, dude, what the... Wait, so Luke is... Wait, what? Why is Rey so goddamn powerful? So you basically just invalidated Finn for the entire series, like he's fucking useless. So you're having this half-baked romance between this random new character because Finn got friend-zoned by Rey. Wait, Pin? Not Pin. Finn. Finn's whole storyline on that casino planet, what was it called? Canto Bight. It's just... the whole thing literally came to absolutely nothing. Like, legitimately nothing. There was no point of it other than to get across this random forced message of animal cruelty with Rose. No, it's worth it. No, it's fucking not, Rose. You just did a shit ton of property damage. The Resistance is buying for these guys, so now they're going to be pissed off at the Resistance now. So you just cut off their supply line. Well done, Rose. Like, what the... And then this weird-ass setup for, like, Rian Johnson's, like, trilogy, because that one kid has, like, the force powers with that broomstick at the end. Fuck that, man. What? Honestly, I would definitely pay to see a Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy, just to see what he does. Because I know he can direct a really good fucking film. I just don't know what happened with The Last Jedi. I mean, again, people fuck up. Like, it happens. I do it literally every day. So, sorry, I'm drinking more whiskey. You just have to when you're talking about The Last Jedi. You just have to. But let me tell you why the biggest problem with The Last Jedi, where when I that I previously said hashtag not my Luke. Let me tell you why it's not my fucking Luke Skywalker. So, in the past film, in the original trilogy, Luke finds out that Vader is his father. And we all know who Darth Vader is. Possibly the most ruthless person in the entire universe. Literally will kill you in a flash. There's some mercy here and there, when he has to, but absolutely ruthless, incredibly scary, like the baddest of the bad. And Luke is the only one who sees the good in him. He's the only one. So you're telling me Luke Skywalker, the guy who saw the good in Darth Vader, just senses some dark thoughts in his nephew, his sister and best friend's son, and his first reaction, split-second reaction, is to kill him. Just let that sink in. Just really think about that. How fucking stupid is that? That's just dumbass writing. It's dumbass and it's fucking lazy. The way Kylo turns is dumb. The reason he turns is just stupid. So it just fucks up Luke Skywalker. You can bitch about the whole Force ghost, phantom ghost thing at the fight scene at the end, and he dies. The way he dies sucks, but when he's looking on the two moons and he fades out, that was really cool. Again, there's good parts. I don't want to completely shit on The Last Jedi because it's not all terrible. Let's finish up talking about The Last Jedi so we can get into Rise of Skywalker. But let's finish up with some good things. Obviously, the effects are amazing. You don't really need to talk about that. It's Disney. There's billions of dollars behind these movies. They're going to look fucking phenomenal. Let's just credit the behind-the-scenes people and the effects people. Let's just all give them a round of applause. I'm not going to clap because it's going to be really loud and the mic's going to pick it up. But, let's just all recognize how good the effects and behind-the-scenes team is with Star Wars. They're well done. Best of the best. The throne room scene is probably the best Star Wars fight scene ever. I mean, it's incredibly well choreographed. It's incredibly well shot. It's how action should be directed, not quick cuts. You see the choreography. You're seeing your main characters kick ass. And the Praetorian Guards looked sick. If you don't know what the Praetorian Guards were, they were those red guys in the throne room. So, yeah, those are the Praetorian Guards. I know, I'm a nerd. I'm nerding out. This is the Nerd Out Sanctuary, okay? I'm supposed to be safe nerding out. Don't judge me, okay? I know what they are, alright? Jesus, moving on. The Yoda scene, I appreciate the puppeteering. I thought it was great, even though they brought the book back, which was kind of a cop-out, but whatever. The book was, I forget what that book was. It was some Jedi prophet book. I don't know. I completely forget. I haven't seen I should have watched The Last Jedi before this podcast, but I just didn't really want to because I do kind of hate myself, so I probably should have watched it. But I mean, I don't hate myself that much. Excuse me, I burped. But I did think killing Snoke was actually a good idea because one, he looked kind of stupid. I hate CGI characters, and Andy Serkis is a really good actor, and he could be pretty fucking menacing without CGI if you just put him in makeup. I don't know why you didn't just do that instead of CGIing him, but all he was gonna be was another emperor, So I guess that's why they, Never. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. In the Rise of Skywalker, but even though it's kind of he's supposed to be this all powerful being, how did he not see? There's a fly in my room, motherfucker! How dare you be in here? I'm filming. Can't you see? Recording, filming, what am I doing? Doing the Real Sanctuary. Come on, Mike. Stay on target. Stay on target. Stay on target. They came from behind. Alright. I am sorry. It's the whiskey. I'm just gonna blame it on the whiskey and not how mentally unstable I am. Okay. Where was I? Death of Snoke. Yeah, I think it was the right idea just to kill him off, because he was boring to me. Kylo Ren's more interesting to me. His story interested me more. But other than pretty much that, other than the effects, badass fight scenes, Snoke dying, which is part of the fight scene, and the Yoda scene, pretty much everything else about The Last Jedi I disliked wholeheartedly. So, Rise of Skywalker then. It was released on, 20th, I'm pretty sure, which was Friday. Okay, come on, mouse work. Yeah, the 20th, which was Friday, December 20th, 2019. So I'm going to get into this without any spoilers because we could talk for fucking hours about this, and I just don't want to. I'm mentally exhausted with Star Wars, and there's other interesting things that we could talk about. Sup, Vader? If you're not watching, I'm staring into Vader's eyes. He sits behind me, by the way. If you don't know, this is also a YouTube channel, so you can watch the podcast, listen in, or do whatever you want. So, Rise of Skywalker. The whole movie is just a response to The Last Jedi, is what it is. I mean, that goes for all the movies, but I want to talk about that more in the State of Star Wars segment at the end of the show. But I'm gonna spoil a little bit of it, but I mean, it's in the trailer. Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious, they actually bring him back. He's not just like some Force ghost or anything. They actually do bring him back, and I hated it. Because they're just doing some random, like, he's like half dead body, and like he's all mangled and electrocution-fied or whatever the fuck. It sucks because in the original movies, Anakin kills Palpatine, brings balance to the Force, or whatever. It just kind of negates Anakin's story, and I don't like that at all. It's just, I don't know. I didn't need Palpatine, and I didn't want him back. But since Rian Johnson killed Snoke, it's like, oh, let's just fucking, I don't know, let's create another villain. Oh, let's just bring back Palpatine. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it could have been cool, because they did something with Rey that I wanted them to do in The Last Jedi, but I don't want to spoil what that is, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I was calling this from when I saw The Last Jedi. I was just like, you know what? This would be cool if they did this. And they do it, but it's 1, too little too late. 3, the way they revealed it was lame. And I don't know, I just think they could have done it better, and honestly, they should have just revealed that in The Last Jedi. But in The Last Jedi, Rey's a nobody. She's just a nobody. You're nothing. You're no one. You're no one. You're nothing. You're nothing. You're no one. I'm imitating Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi, because my sister was making fun of that, and I thought that was really funny. So if you're listening, sister, that was funny. Well done. You made your way into a podcast. Congratulations. Terrible. But yeah, I mean, what they did with Rey, like, it's cool, but like, it kind of explains why she's so goddamn powerful, and she's just basically indestructible. Which is another problem with the movies. Like, I don't know, there's just I don't feel the stakes You know, I don't know, something about him, like, again, The Last Jedi just makes me not give a fuck about anyone, any of the characters. No one gives a fuck about Rose. No one gives a fuck about Finn. No one gives a fuck about Poe. I don't believe that they're this tight-knit family that they keep on, like, shoving in my goddamn fucking face. You know? They have Kylo and Rey force fucking every time they see each other, pretty much. I thought Snoke was bringing them together. Like, you know, I thought Snoke was kind of like melding their minds. That's why they could see each other and where they're at. So he's dead. So how are they being able to do that? They might have explained it in The Last Jedi, but I don't know. I don't think they did. That's probably a safe bet that they didn't. But moving on, the cartoonish humor, like the humor is just so out of place, and it was kind of like that in The Force Awakens, but like I don't know, like it was kind of funny, but like when you're getting into it into The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi's humor was just kind of lame. It was heavily Marvel. It was Marvel-y, you know, like in the Marvel movies. Like it was Marvel movie humor. That Marvel movie humor and Star Wars humor is not the same thing. It's not the same thing, and you would think these directors and these content creators over at Disney would know that, but I guess they don't. You know, Marvel movies make a shit ton of money. They make billions and billions and gazillions of doll hairs. They make so much money. So, of course, that works. Let's put it in the Star Wars movie. Oh, let's make it our own type of bullshit. Doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It's just, just overall, the Rise of Skywalker is just kind of lame. It's really hard to review this movie without any spoilers, so maybe in a future episode I'll talk about it more, but I kind of need I should see it again, but I'm not paying to go see it in the theater. I'm going to wait until it's on like Disney Plus because I'm subscribed. Well, my brother's subscribed to Disney Plus, and I bum his account, so thank you, brother. Oh man, shut up! Don't judge me. You do it too. You do it with your family and members. Do not come. Don't deflect on me all your bullshit. Okay, that you do it too. Don't stop it. Stop it. But does the Rise of Skywalker have Mikey's movie magic? Does it got the movie magic? Fuck no, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't. Is it a pile of garbage? No. But since Star Wars is so personal to me and seeing it go this way, the fan service throughout the full film, like, started to actually offend me after a while. Like, it started to, like, really offend me. I'm like, Jesus, like, really? You're just recycling John Williams' score just to get me. And I'm like, I'm not fucking falling for this bullshit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I wanted to shout, get the fuck out of here, and just walk out. But obviously, I'm a good moviegoer, so I just sit back and just Patrick Stewart facepalm the entire time. Basically, it's what I did. So, no. The magic was not there in Rise of Skywalker. But let's move on to just the state of Star Wars right now. Now, I want all you to just take what I'm saying about these movies with a grain of salt, because it is my opinion. It's my opinion. My opinion might not be your opinion, so it's fucking okay to like these movies. It's okay to love them, you know? Go ahead and love them. Like, that's what's so great about entertainment, movies, TV, and video games, and comics, and books. They're forms of art, and art is subjective. That's what makes them so awesome. It's what inspires debate, which makes everything awesome. It makes it better. Just unfortunately, talking about this makes it even worse. Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi, they're like the exact opposite of movies that I love, which are movies that the more you watch it, the more you think about it, the more you love them. Movies like Blade Runner, movies like Unbreakable, Drive, which I'm sure I will be talking about in the future. I mean, come on. Like, the more you think about those movies, you're like, wow, like, holy fuck, those are good. Damn, man. Don't worry, we'll be getting into all this. This Star Wars episode is just one episode. There's a lot more to come. But, the state of Star Wars, like, you can like these movies. Like, they're watchable. They're watchable. They're not the worst movies I've ever seen. It's just because I'm passionate and everyone else is so passionate about Star Wars. They see something that they don't like in Star Wars, they have to talk about it and they have to rage about it. They have to be so fucking mean about it. It's like, let's all just calm down. Like, these are just movies. Like, I'm willing to be, even though it's a very personal matter and they're tied to a lot of memories that I have. Let's all just take a step back and just realize these are just movies and they're going to be making more. Like, this isn't over, I'm going to be going into Star Wars a lot more cautiously with my money because I'm pretty sure they're not going to be making any more of the Skywalker saga episodes. I'm pretty sure they're done. But if they're not, I don't know if I'm going to be seeing those. I'm looking forward to their spin-offs, to be honest. Let's talk about some good in the Star Wars universe. Rogue One was pretty fucking fantastic. I think it's the best looking film in the new Disney Star Wars cinematic universe. I mean, it was directed by Gareth Edwards, I believe. The guy, he directed the first new Godzilla movie that came out in 2014. Excuse me. That was disgusting, and I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I will try not to do that in the future, but can't take that shit back now. So, Rogue One, I think the director, Gareth Edwards, does a fantastic job with depicting size in his films. Like, when you watch the 2014 Godzilla, you're like, man, does Godzilla look fucking massive. It looks like he could take a skyscraper and swing it like a baseball bat like David Ortiz or some bullshit. I'm just gonna fucking swing at that Muto and aim for the goddamn fences, bruh. Like, that movie's good. I personally like that movie, and I think Rogue One is fantastic. He did the kind of similar thing with Godzilla, and as he did with Rogue One, as he did with Godzilla, and he saved that. Holy shit, that was an amazing scene till the very goddamn end of this film, which makes it so much better. But Rogue One is great, even though I didn't really give too much of a shit about the characters. It was still really good, and it was probably the best Star Wars movie. Solo, on the other hand, I thought was a good film, but he didn't feel like Han Solo. He did a good job, but you're just not Han Solo to me. I'm sorry, you're just not. But I enjoyed the film overall. So we'll see what they do with the new films. I hope they delve into the Old Republic, because they need to. There's so much cool shit. If you ever want to watch something fucking awesome, go on YouTube and look up Star Wars The Old Republic cinematic trailers, and there's a compilation of all of them together. It's some of the greatest video game trailers you'll ever see. It's a video game, Star Wars The Old Republic. It's a MMO RPG. I play it here and there. It's pretty good. It's made by BioWare, the guys who did Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which is fantastic. Again, Old Republic story, Darth Revan. I mean, come on. Let's all acknowledge the fact that that motherfucker is amazing. But yeah, there's amazing stories in the Old Republic, and I don't know why they're not. I mean, whatever they do is going to be incredibly ambitious, but they reset all the canon for these movies, so it's like it's open territory to just take. Like, just make whatever the fuck you want to make and just do it. Maybe have the main character be a bad guy for once. Maybe a Sith. You know, let's follow a Sith go through some like Sith acolyte training. You know. That would be awesome. I would pay money to see that, you know, and like you can get away with a lot of violence. Like you don't have to have a rated R. Like everyone's trying to make a rated R like comic book film now, which I totally support because the Joker is phenomenal, Deadpool is phenomenal, Logan is phenomenal, so they're great. But I don't think you really need a rated R Star Wars film. You can get away with a lot of violence with a PG-13 rating. So you can get away with a lot of decapitations. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean, I haven't read any of the books or the comics because they're just way too expensive and nothing's really interested me. I mean, yet again, I haven't really been following, but yeah, whatever. Hopefully they do something with the Old Republic. But again, the movies I don't think are really in good shape, at least the episodes. So let's just move on from the Skywalker saga and let's move on to something different, some new characters. I don't want to see Rey again. Like, I just don't care. I just don't care about Rey, Finn, Poe. I don't give a fuck about them. I don't care, you know. Again, Adam Driver is awesome, and in the Rise of Skywalker again. Let me say this: all the actors in the entire series, they do fine, they do good. You know, they do good with what they are given. But I mean, Adam Driver stands out from the rest of them, but everyone does do a really great job. But other good things. I mean, The Mandalorian is good. I really like The Mandalorian. I don't love it yet. I think the problem with The Mandalorian is you need some consistency with the characters around the Mandalorian, because I think The Mandalorian is going to do a lot better if The Mandalorian has extra other like side characters to play off of him. You know, like a guy in a mask where you don't show his face can only get interesting so much, you know, like it can only get so interesting for so long. So let's get some consistency. I think they're going to be doing that. I just seen the 7th episode. I don't know if the 8th episode is out yet. I think it is, so I'll be watching it. Maybe I'll get back to you. Maybe I'll go in-depth review of the entire season. I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I'll probably do that with the 2nd season when my channel gets a little bit more up and running and a little bit more consistency. I'm just trying to get this off of the ground right now. But the Mando, in my opinion, is really good right now. It's really good. It's incredibly different from the movies, which I love and I appreciate. I just need to see a little bit more characterization. I'm sure they're going to be getting into that with his origin and everything, giving him some side characters to play off of, and a new villain, which Gus Fring from fucking Breaking Bad just came into play. I'm super excited to see that. But the new video game, the new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I got it, but I gave it to my mom to give it for me for Christmas. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for a little bit there, and I'm gonna have to play it. But as soon as I beat it, I'm totally talking about it on this podcast, no doubt. But I hear amazing things about it. I hear nothing but good things about it, so I'm excited to play that. I heard Battlefront 2 is having a pretty big resurgence right now, so I might honestly download that or buy it. I never bought Battlefront 2 because I didn't want to fucking support it, because when it came out, it was just like absolutely terrible. I heard, microtransaction galore, not pay to win, pay to play pretty much, which I told her, like, fuck that. I'm not supporting this bullshit. But apparently, again, they're listening to the fans, which is part of the problem with the movies. But it's always good for video games, which I do argue. It's good for video games. But for movies, there's a little bit more of an artistic vision that needs to come into play in more consistency. Which, fuck it, let's just get into it. Get into the whole the fandom, how it's affecting Star Wars. And I think people really need to just calm the fuck down, because you can tell with these episodes, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker are all responses for the fans. Like, there's a shit ton of fan service, which is totally not appreciated. Like, I don't want I don't want these movies to be just complete fan service. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why? But, like, The Force Awakens is pretty much a remake of A New Hope, because, the original, no one liked the prequels, everyone loves the original series, let's just pretty much remake one of the original series to boot up our new series, our new trilogy. And then people criticize it for being too much like The New Hope, and so they bring Rian Johnson in, some indie director who's never directed a giant budget movie. It's like having let's just have a fucking soccer player come in and play NFL football here. Like, it doesn't always work. Yeah, it works with maybe kickers. Sorry for the sports references, but I'm wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers sweatshirt. Like, I'm a huge sports fan, by the way. But anyway, so expect some sports analogies with these. But moving on with that, like, he's an indie director. It comes in to direct a giant, big budget movie that's not always going to work. I think it rarely works, to be honest. I mean, I know what Taika Waititi did, Thor Ragnarok. He was the director of Thor Ragnarok, and he just did smaller films. And Thor Ragnarok was fantastic. So, I mean, it does work, but other than that, I can't really tell anything else, They usually have to prove themselves a little bit more before that. But anyway, The Last Jedi is like, you didn't like just rebooting A New Hope, so let's just bring him in, and he just does whatever the fuck he wants, which is basically just subverting expectations. Here's something that you love? Fuck that. Fuck you, lightsaber. If you're just listening, I am motioning like I'm yeeting the lightsaber like Luke, or fake Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. And then Rise of Skywalker is okay. You didn't like The Last Jedi. Okay. We killed Snoke. What do we do? Bring back Palpatine. Because everyone loves Palpatine, right? Yeah, you like Palpatine, right? You guys like Palpatine, right? Oh, here he is. Oh, there he is. Don't you like Palpatine? Don't you love all this John Williams music? Huh? Don't you love all these callbacks to the original trilogy? Huh? Don't you love the Millennium Falcon? Oh my gosh, look at the Millennium Falcon, guys. Look at all this fan service. Holy crap. Oh, jeez. So everything is just a fan response, which is, you shouldn't always listen to the fans. I mean, again, it's so hard to know when you should listen to the fans and when you shouldn't. And the Star Wars fandom is always so goddamn vocal about everything, and they get heavily triggered by everything. And I'm one of them. Like, I'm a culprit of doing this as well. I'm passionate about Star Wars, so you can get a little hot, you can get a little heated about it. When you're seeing your beloved franchise just get shit on, basically. But let me take a drink of whiskey for a little bit. Don't worry, we're coming down to the final stretch here, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. But final thoughts. This isn't over. Like, Star Wars is not dead by far. I mean, these movies still make money. I don't really know exactly how the new movie is doing, but let's look that up a little bit as I randomly talk into the mic. Yeah, box office. That's what I want. box office. Far and Away generated a massive $176 million in U.S. theaters and $374 million globally. That's just when I just straight up Googled Rise of Skywalker box office. I don't know exactly what the budget of the movie is. That seems kind of low a little bit for how much these movies probably cost. Let's look that up a little bit for a second. I don't want this video to get super fucking long, but I'm kind of interested in this. How much does it cost? What was the budget? Close to 200 million domestically. Okay, never mind. That's not how much it was cost. The production, 250 to 300 million to produce. Okay, I mean, it's probably the most expensive out of the three, but again, the point is it makes money. Like, globally, they basically just cleared their budget, and domestically it's just where they make all their money. It still makes $200 fucking million. Like, they're gonna keep making them. I'm pretty sure they're stopping the Skywalker saga, so we'll see what they do next. There's hope. Excuse me, another burp. There's hope. There's still hope. You know, there's still chances to make great Star Wars movies. I'm sorry. Fuck, I can't talk all of a sudden. There's just too much whiskey. I'm gonna be filming another episode after this, like back to back. So we'll see if I still want to do that. I'm drinking too much whiskey, it seems like. But there's still chances to right their wrongs. Not in the Skywalker episodes. That ship has sailed. It has sailed. It is over. Sorry. It's done. But you can come back and have a new trilogy that's great. You know, bring something else into it, and some new characters and new great stories to come back. You know, there's still chances to be great. And they're already doing with that, you know, new video games, with the Jedi the Fallen Order, The Mandalorian. You know, Battlefront 2 is making a resurgence that people are saying, it's like, you know what, Battlefront 2 is pretty fucking awesome right now. So there's still chances. You know, there's still chances of great fucking stories. And on that final note of hope, we're going to end the show by giving you my episodic message, which is, if you're, you know, not feeling great, you know, emotionally, you're feeling kind of down, it's okay. Like, that is okay to feel that way. Everybody does. But, watch a movie here and there, you know, get distracted. But movies and TV and video games are just distractions. They don't solve your problems. They can help you develop solutions to your problems, and you just have got to correct those yourself. So, self-reflection is great. Self-betterment is the main goal. I think it's part of, you know, evolution. You know, you need to evolve as a person. You know, bad things are not always bad. You know, some bad things can be good for you in the long run. So, if you're feeling down, it's okay. Tune into the Nerd Out Sanctuary. I'll make you feel I'll make you feel better. I was about to say I'll make you feel so much better. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not prostituting myself here. Like, Jesus Christ, Michael. Like, this might be the only time I drink whiskey on filming a fucking podcast. Probably not. Come on, we all know that's bullshit. But yeah, on that note, if you're not feeling well, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. I have faith you'll turn the ship around like I did. You know, I've been there, done that. You know, it sucks, but it sucks in the moment when looking back on it, you're like, you know what, like, I became a better person. So on that note, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching my first ever episode of Nerd Out Sanctuary. I appreciate it. Darth Vader appreciates it behind me. If you're listening, Darth Vader is behind me. It's just a cardboard cutout. Don't worry, he's not actually behind me. Don't worry. There's going to be more Nerd Out Sanctuary. I'm not going to, like, get impaled by Vader's lightsaber in a minute. But thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate every last one of you guys and gals. Thank you. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Nerd Out Sanctuary. Thanks, guys.